best cast.
Network. Now things will start kicking ass, just like it said at the beginning of the program.
Man of the hour, tower of tower, too sweet to be sour.
Sending your ass on the jabroni jet to the other side of the territory, brother.
The Alabama Hammer.
Nightmares on the best part of my day. The goods from the wood.
Hot damn.
Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
Pat Riley.
This is a good night, man of the hour, tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
And today we are, oh Lord, we are plumbing the depths.
Shit rock.
Shit rock.
Sailing takes me away to where I've always heard it.
With our guest, Russell Mills.
I got worried when you said plumbing the depths. I thought you were talking about me.
No.
Oh, that was me, actually.
We're talking bad music.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite topics.
I think it's a shared passion amongst all of us.
I love it. I love terrible music.
Who needs good music? Bad music is so much more entertaining.
It is. There was a point in time where bad music was the most earnest.
Yeah.
It was
all.
ambitious. It was like movies.
It was ambitious. People sang the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Exhibit A being Michael McDonald.
You can't fake Michael McDonald.
You can't, because
sincerity.
No one say. And by the way,
But wait, just get right off the bat, who's worse, Michael McDonald or Kenny Loggins?
Well, as you know, I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen Kenny Loggins live in concert, and it was good.
Really?
It was fucking good. The man is a crowd pleaser.
Did he play Pooh Corner?
He did play Pooh Corner,
Ooh.
and he played Watching the River Run, and then he played a countrified version of Highway to the Danger Zone.
But did he play the real version, or he just play the countrified version?
Well, here's the thing. When I saw Kenny Loggins, I saw him with, and I feel terrible because I can't even remember the name of the band, but it was a couple months back. He played out in Pioneer Town, California, which is an old Wild West movie set in the middle of the desert.
Did he play with Queens of the Stone Age?
No, but it's Josh Homme's
Yeah.
place. It's Pappy and Harriet's out there.
Yeah.
It's
Did they used to film Cisco Kid out there?
I think they did. I know they filmed some Gunsmoke out there as well. And it's really cool out there. If you ever get a chance to go see a show out there.
Oh, it's fantastic, yeah.
It's so much fun because it's in the middle of nowhere. So the people who are there to rock, man. Like, it's a pilgrimage just to get out there. And I just heard Kenny Loggins was playing out there, and it was only $20, and I was like, well, I'd be a damn fool. And nobody wanted to go with me. That's the worst part. I was alone.
Was this recently?
This was back in June, I think.
I think me and Pat might have even turned you down.
No, I was going out of town because I wouldn't pass up on
I don't
the
think I
log.
had $20. I think that was part
in
of
your town.
But,
Say no to that.
but I got out there, and it turns out it was Kenny Loggins, but he was playing.
He was playing with the Eagles of Death Metal. He joined the Eagles of Death.
He's just decided at the age of 70 or whatever to start a country band.
I always thought personally that I have this vision of Kenny Loggins that the only concerts he plays at are either at Red Rocks or at Knott's Berry Farm. Like, those are the only two venues that Kenny Loggins will
play
do.
like Kenny Loggins. Has anybody seen Michael McDonald?
in here.
I've had opportunities, but I haven't.
See, like, the reason I feel like Kenny might be a more positive experience is because I don't know if Michael McDonald's a crowd pleaser. I think he seems like the kind of guy who does what the fuck he wants to do. And if he's going to do
a lot of Motown covers,
right,
probably.
if he's going to do an all Motown show, you don't get What a Fool Believes. You go fuck yourself. Right, I don't want to see that. I want to see Taking It to the Streets. I want to see Taking It to the Streets. I want to see Minute by Minute. I want to see, It Keeps You Running. I want to see What a Fool Believes.
Sweet Freedom.
Well, was he there when they did China Grove?
No, that was
the
when they were
earlier
still-
ass-kicking doobies. That's my doobies right there.
I've an earlier Rivers, a less refined Rivers, felt that way very much. I used to be very much in the Michael McDonald ruin the Doobie Brothers camp.
Well, ruined is a relative term.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I got older. I got an appreciation for Steely Dan. That's where it starts.
Ooh.
Like,
Steely Dan.
it's always
Yeah, I think there's a divide.
Yeah,
And
I
we're
know.
evenly divided by ends of the table. Y'all
Here's
can't
one
see
song.
that on the radio.
I'll do the first shot with bad songs. The Fez by Steely Dan.
I'm never gonna do it without the feds on. Oh no.
Never gonna do it without the Fez on. It's just like
Big hit in Morocco.
and there's all sorts of weird like sound effects and stuff, and it's a song about, I guess, using a condom or something like that, because all their songs are very kind of puerile in a way.
weirdly.
Was it for
sexual.
the Shriners or some shit like
Never gonna do it.
They're doing it in the back of a little car.
Never gonna do it without the Fez on. I wanna be your holy man. Boom, boom,
that? See,
boom.
look, for somebody who does not like Southern, you've spent a long time listening to them. I could not get past their radio hits to
Really?
even like look into
See,
the albums.
I always, I just didn't really give them a second thought, and then at some point I graduated college and I didn't have a job.
And then you started reeling in the yees.
I started reeling in the years. That was what I was going to say.
I always thought it was reeling in the yees, personally, or reeling in the yeast.
Reeling in the yeast.
Yeah.
Reeling in the yeast.
Bringing in the
Bread
sheaves or some
factory.
No, they're one of the few bands that like their first album. The vision is complete. There's no growth in Steely Dan. Like
Can't
they
buy,
start,
that's Can't Buy a Thrill, right?
Can't Buy a Thrill. They
Yeah,
come out of the
that's-
gate a complete vision of a band. Like,
Well, they weren't a complete vision of a band when Chevy Chase was playing drums for him, to be honest.
Right.
That's true.
So what's okay? So what's your
let's
Michael McDonald?
Oh, you mentioned Michael McDonald. I have my it's embarrassing, but I went through like a tough breakup and was just writing. You know, how you write just terrible, awful stuff that in the moment you think is really this is unique. No one goes through this, and everybody goes through it. And then I read some of it back. And it was the lyrics to "I Keep Forgetting" what I wrote. Like, this is like getting my feelings out. It's like, I keep forgetting. It was like almost literally. I rewrote "I Keep Forgetting."
Well, that means you tuned
glad I
into
didn't,
that
like,
same
sing it to
vibe. That's great minds thinking alike right there.
No.
I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. I keep forgetting things will never be the same again.
I'm Willa May, and you're listening to WJHOAM. We now join Lester Hill's Farm and Agriculture Report already in progress.
Friend of mine had the same problem there, but he takes a little blue pills there.
Lester, we got a very special guest here. We got Lindsay Ginn, the mayor.
How you doing there, Willie Mae? You look absolutely ravishing.
Oh, thank you so much.
And Lester, it's always nice to see you, I guess. It's not nice to see you, sir. Not with the things you've been doing in this county, in this town. Mr. Lindsay with the girl's first name. And your last name is Gin, which is a well-known alcoholic tonic there. Gin is a traditional name. My family has been in this county for the past 200 Your family has been in this county since the carpet bag come down here with your Abraham Lincoln and your Yankees to enforce the Reconstruction. And my granddaddy was one of the red shirts. We was part of the restoration of this state, sire.
I restored an armoire.
That's wonderful, honey. She hasn't taken her tonic. You understand? But you'd know all about tonic, wouldn't you, Mr. Gin there? It's Gin. I do not believe... Oh, change your name to some kind of foreign Italian thing where they have no morals at all, sir. You come to all the county commission meetings and you rise high hell because you have problems with things that do not exist. I do not raise hell, sir. I raise heaven.
Things will never be the same.
I love Steely Dan. I don't know albums very well. I feel like I'm just like, oh, you know that one song off the Best Of? you know Peg off Best Of Steely Dan? So great. Did Peg ever remember what movie it was? That movie? It will come back to you.
That's right. Her favorite foreign movie.
That'll be
Zardoz.
Zardoz. That's probably my favorite foreign movie right there.
Is it a foreign movie?
The gun is good. The penis is evil. The penis shoots seeds.
I mean, that's all it right there.
Zardoz.
I am Zardoz, your god. Go forth and kill.
I was trying to think of just some of the worst songs ever, and this one immediately sprang to mind. The song is called "Sex Dwarf," and it's by the band Soft Cell.
Oh, man.
You'll remember from their one hit in the '80s, "Tainted Love." This was the follow-up to "Tainted Love." This was what they believed could capture the imagination of the world in the way that "Tainted Love" did. This is "Sex Dwarf."
Sugar and spice, luring disco dollies to a life of ice.
What?
I can make a film and make you my star. You be natural the way you are. I would like you on a long black lead.
Is this an Adrian Street song?
You got the attraction, you got the
Oh my God.
Walk my little doggy, walk my little sex
Sex dwarf. Is a sex dwarf a dwarf that fucks a lot? Or is it just a person of like below average size on the donkel area?
How was it? Isn't it nice? Sugar and spice was the first lyrics. Like,
Yeah, and
these are
nobody
great,
shot
great
that
opening
down.
lyrics.
Yeah, that's like Aerosmith
go
level
with
of bad
A-level.
right there.
It tells me that Soft Cell had no friends. Because if they had friends, they would say no.
Wow.
Listen, man, it's a bad idea.
Maybe it was all yes men after the Tainted Love.
Tainted Love was so huge.
You get all these hangers on like that. That's why Machiavelli said, beware
was his-
flatterers.
But I think that it's crazy that it didn't have like any instrumental, like very little instrumental beginning, and then it just goes, "Isn't it nice, sugar and spice?" And he's like yelling at you. Like, are you supposed to dance to that or something? Like, I don't know.
What does that have to do with sex dwarves?
Yeah, that's one of those things.
Where
Like,
is the dwarfism in this?
it's like kind of a cryptozoology concept. Like, what a sex dwarf. Like, when you said sex dwarf, immediately I thought it was something like Tom Jones's Sex Bomb. It's like, sex dwarf, sex dwarf.
Sex
You're
dwarf.
my sex
Like
dwarf.
Dwarf on golf, sex dwarf.
Maybe he was a sex dwarf.
Well, I actually saw Soft Cell in concert.
Really?
But it was a very weird, like, it's a weird story, and that's where I know Sex Dwarf, was I saw them in, I interned at the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh,
in
shit.
South of France. I know, I was getting real
Oh,
douchey.
you was in
I
Nice.
was in the south of France.
French Riviera.
I was
Oh,
in the
it's
French
South
Riviera.
France, watching Soft Cell,
You know
getting
how
my
it
dick
is.
sucked, you know.
Sex dwarf.
Big
Sex
deal.
dwarf, yacht, skunk, you know.
And it was
Pink champagne.
it was a cool,
On
it was
ice.
a really awesome experience. But you would like, I worked for Miramax during the day, and you just like, they work your ass off, they treat you like shit, and then at the end of the day, you go home, you get in a tuxedo,
Yeah.
and you try to go to parties or film premieres. And I got to go to this party that was in a castle.
Wow.
And there's just like alcohol everywhere, and Soft Cell is performing all of a sudden. And then there was like
You
sex
take with the
dwarf.
good with the bad, you know?
Yeah, but the weird part was it was a castle, so there was like no bathrooms. It was like this weird, huge party, but there was like one bathroom. I swear to God, and it
had to
was
pee in
and
the
I
moat.
just was just yeah. Exactly. And I was
There's a
really
monster
drunk,
in that, you
and
gotta
then
be
I
careful.
ended up behind Soft Cell in line for the bathroom for like half an hour.
All the guys from Styx after Styx broke up did their own like solo things, I think. So Dennis DeYoung did a very sort of adult contemporary thing. Tommy Shaw,
Tommy Shaw, by the way.
Alabama's own Tommy
Montgomery's
Shaw.
own.
I always thought he looked like Luke
So
Skywalker.
he had an album called Girls with Guns, and this is the titular song from Girls with Guns. There are so many bad songs on Girls with Guns, but I'm going to go with the title track, and it's awful.
All right, let's
So-
give it a listen.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It kind of sounds like Holiday Road a little bit.
It does. Like, I just can't understand the synth line that they're doing. But the lyrics are just asinine.
I found out long ago.
Sounds like a campground band that's had a lot of coke.
Wow, man.
He got some bad advice.
sugar and spice.
I'm not the. So he just can't handle the girls with guns. It's just a weird amalgamation of genres, really.
It is.
Like it's a train wreck.
I'll say this though, it's better than some of his Styx work.
It's obnoxious
Is
when
that-
it starts out. That synth line is the most obnoxious thing.
Is that pre-Damn Yankees? Or?
That's pre-Damn Yankees.
Okay.
So this goes into, this is like the bridge between Styx and Damn Yankees.
so-
It's aggressive, the opening
Yeah.
of that thing. It's
So
really aggressive.
Ted Nugent saw that and was like, "Get me this guy.
Yeah.
I got a fucking great idea. Get me this jabroni."
But it's just weird. It's just like, it starts out, and it's the first song on the album, so you put the CD in, or you put in the, and you just hear, and it sounds like it's made on like a keyboard rack. Did you ever watch Bozo the Clown Show?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It sounds like something Professor Andy would play on Bozo the Clown. It's so bad, and all the songs on it are bad. All the songs on it are terrible. Like, there's another song called Lonely School, which is the ballad. We had the thing for bad music, and we looked it up to try and find the worst song ever, and we came across Girls with Guns, and consensus, this was the mixture of the worst song objectively mixed with the greatest amount of charm.
That's the synth. It almost sounds out of tune too.
It's aggressive. It's like he got the band really like hopped up on coke. He's all right, I'm fucking playing.
It's like that one.
Tommy Shaw's the only man who could get a synth out of tune.
It's like that one concert clip with Van Halen. Remember when they played Jump, but it was out of key, and they just decided to like keep playing it somehow, and it sounds like insane. I really feel bad bringing it up because I grew up in South Bay. I grew up in Redondo Beach.
South Bay,
and this is like the quintessential like South Bay band, which is Sublime.
Oh, God.
I actually love Sublime. I actually really, there's a lot of songs that I like. I legitimately, non-ironically like. But Wrong Way is the fucking worst song, and I hate it so much.
What? That's the one that's got the
A cigarette rests between her lips while I'm staring at it. It's the wrong way.
If I could go back in time and like kill Orpheus so there was never any music, I would do it just to stop Sublime from ever existing.
I mean, Date Rape is awful too, but at
Yeah,
least
that
kinda
one's a
has
bad-
It's a big
positive
problem.
message
Oh,
in
the
a
song.
way because he
And it's
the
a
guy
novelty
gets his
song.
Oh, I hate this motherfucking thing. Every motherfucker did this should be killed in a horrible way, like Dr. Phibes.
Is there or is there not a man doing mouth trumpet at the end? Right? Isn't there a guy going?
It's probably ass trumpet.
Oh no, he goes.
Yeah, staring at her tits. That's the
Yeah, that's just gross.
come on, Brad.
Is it a mouth trumpet?
Yeah, it's like.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Drunk as dead.
I gotta say this. Oftentimes, I have to say, I'm sorry, you know, to your Jimmy Cliffs or your Bob Marleys, but oftentimes I've wished reggae never existed just because what white people did with it is so awful, it doesn't justify that genre of music existing.
I do love the Clash though.
I like the Clash too, but
Yeah.
is
The
it worth
specials?
that?
Yeah,
That's
was the
that's-
specials really
is
worth?
it worth that? you might like Wagner or something, but is it worth Hitler? You have to ask yourself these questions.
I'm not going to stand here and say that I wasn't a huge fucking Sublime fan when I was in 8th grade, and I'm not ashamed of that. They're
I
fine.
went to the Sublime tribute concert too, right after Bradley Noel died.
Oh,
I know,
jeez.
and this makes me feel really old because my friend in San Pedro works at Starbucks and said that Bradley Noel's son came in and is apparently in a band now, and he was at that concert a little baby.
Yeah, he's on the
He was a little
Wow.
baby, like they were holding him.
Yeah, he's on the back cover of the record as a baby, right?
Yeah. And, No
Santa-
Doubt played at that
Wow.
show. My biggest memory I went to this concert, it was No Doubt, Goo Goo Dolls and Bush.
Oh man.
At formerly the Arrowhead Pond. And my biggest memory is my friend Summer. I went with her, and someone threw gum, and it landed in her hair. So I spent like all through Goo Goo Dolls trying to get gum out of my friend Summer's hair. The Goo Goo Dolls were terrible. They wanted to be like a rock band. We need to have a Goo Goo talk about Goo Goo.
I saw them opening for the Rolling Stones. I saw them open for the Rolling Stones, and they basically just went out there and said, "Look, we're just here to see the Stones too, but we have to go through with this."
Well, the other guy kept being like, "Come on, it's a rock show," and then they would play their wussy hits. You're like,
"Yeah, is it?
What are you talking about?"
Fuck.
But how do?
But Bush was pretty.
No,
good.
I won't
Bush.
tell no one your name.
Oh, fuck, man.
I don't know. I love terrible music. I love Iris. I love all that.
Well, you know,
I don't know.
Ultimately, I am self-aware enough to realize that this is a symptom of me getting old. But even the shittiest, most dog shit music from when I was a kid is better than the shitty music that comes out now.
Absolutely.
And again, I know that's a symptom of me being old, but also there's a part of me that
You would really take Puddle of Mud over Mumford and Sons?
Ooh, no, that's
no.
But I don't even know who Paula Mudd is, and I think I would.
They do the
maybe.
She fucking hates me.
That song.
Okay, I'd take him over Mumford and Sons.
That one that's like, I like the way you pull my hair. I like the way you smack my ass. The one that would like Fred Durst was like, this band, I discovered them. Like,
I'm Willa May, and you're listening to WJHOAM. We now join Lester Hill's Farm and Agriculture Report already in progress.
Maybe Jen come from a monkey, but Lester Hill comes from Pea Ridge, Paducah County there. Why did you put me on this show? I have to deal with this bastard. My birth is entirely legitimate, sir.
Lindsay,
Yes.
could you sing Rocky Top like you did at the county commission meeting the other week?
Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee.
We are a band of brothers and native to the soil. Fighting for the property we earned by our honest toil. I got something to tell you, Lester. Our land was threatened until the Coruscant, a cry rose near and far. Hurrah for the bonnet blue flag that bears a tingle star. I don't appreciate you calling me son because I'm 10 years a senior.
I'll be honest with you. For me, 1997 was a terrible year. Because I was into grunge and all this shit, but then you had shit like Korn coming out and fucking Spice Girls and Hanson, and another song I despised. Yeah, and Discotheque by U2. I despised that song. I despised that.
All right, 1997 I think might be the funniest year in music, just because there's just a plethora of shit that came
I think
up
I
this
have
year.
something from 1997.
We'll do these back to back then, because this one, I love my friend Brittany. She's great, but she reminded me that this was a thing, and I can't forgive her for that.
Okay.
This song is called, first of all, the name of the artist is Jimmy Ray.
Oh!
And the song is Are You Jimmy Ray? And this is the dregs of 97 as far as I'm concerned. This is like, ugh.
Are you favorite?
Yeah, he says, "Are you Fay Ray?"
Well, she was still alive at that point.
That's true. She did live to be 100 or whatever.
Yeah, she died in like 2003 or something.
I think you would know if it was Fay Ray.
You know, because King Kong had been falling down the fucking street.
Are they wearing Kansas City Chief jerseys?
It looks like they're wearing Kansas City Chief bodysuits.
This guy, he just looks like a fucking bullshit John Leguizamo.
Yeah, this looks like the kind of video you see on like the Latin channel.
It's the fucking worst. If you're listening to this in front of a computer, just go to YouTube, type in "Are you Jimmy Ray?"
Or use your imagination.
Because I thought you were gonna go Smash Mouth, but this is
this is
breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue something. But this is a deeper cut.
No, this is the worst. worst. This is
Y'all loving it. You're reveling in it over there.
you like
This music video is amazing. We're gonna break dance in a trailer park with some
then,
cowboy
who
cheerleaders.
Who wants to know?
It's a great idea.
It's fucking dog shit. That video is the worst. Yeah, I don't,
That's pretty bad.
but yeah, man, 97.
Russell's soaking it up like he
I
got a
love-
biscuit over
No,
there.
It's amazing. Like you were talking about nostalgia. Like I used to hate Sixpence None the Richer, Kiss Me.
Yeah.
I hated that song.
Yeah.
I kind of like it now. It's all like
It's not the
orange
worst,
in
is
me,
it?
and I can't like. I love anything from the '90s. I
The
love
song for me that was horrible in the 90s and now I love it was that foreign group that had Love Me.
Oh,
Love
Love
Me,
Fool by the
say that
Cardigans.
you
Yeah.
love me.
That's a good album.
Love
I
Fool
thought
by the
when that
Cardigans.
first came
They're
out,
great.
I thought, wasn't Elvis supposed to replace this type of music?
Was that
No, I love it.
Gran Turismo, the
I
album?
can't think of it. It sounded like Super Nintendo music. Bing, bing. It's like you had fucking Super Mario World on pause or something.
Oh God!
Oh, what is
Pat.
that over here?
The thing Pat has just handed me is fucking
That
unforgivable.
is like a bloodhound that can only sniff out shit, apparently.
This is the worst. Holy fuck, man! I haven't heard this. Please
This
tell
is
them what it is.
This song is a song called "Where Did You Go" by No Mercy. And I remember hearing this in middle school at on a school trip. We were driving back home in the van, and I remember hearing it, and the reaction I got was it was visceral because it was so insanely absurd. So play the clip. Oh yeah. Because at first you think it's Hadaway, but then you have the guitar.
It's just like a Hadaway
Spanish
ripoff.
guitar.
Yes, I love it.
And the fact that you turned your hat around backwards.
Got my sunglasses on. Drop the top on the Chrysler Sebring. We're cruising by the beach. We're picking up some babes.
I own Palm Springs. Do you hear me?
Where do you go?
Oh, God.
It kind of has the same.
kinda
Beat.
like
It kind
it.
of has the same beat as How Bizarre. It looks
I
like
agree. I like it. I'll take this over your Sublimes.
this is South Florida, guys.
I just want to explain to everybody who isn't watching the video. He's sitting there with the guitar, never touching it, just leaning on it.
Singing longingly, very much like
longingly.
Chris Isaac would.
His hand positioning was odd for classical
It's
guitar.
very much like the guys that would take his style of guitar is very much like the guys that would go to a frat party with the guitar and try and pick up girls with the guitar, just like
Play Wagon Wheel or some shit.
yeah, or play
Sublime, maybe.
yeah, exactly.
Actually, let's talk about that. There's a fucking song that I am done with,
What?
and that is Wagon Wheel.
Wagon Wheel.
Do you know this fucking song?
No.
Okay, so it's this.
But you're getting angry.
I'm getting angry.
I like it.
It's a fucking half-baked Bob Dylan abortion. I think it's on some bootleg, and it's literally the only part of the song Bob Dylan wrote is the chorus, which is just.
Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me.
Blah blah blah, and then these fucknuts, the Old Crow Medicine Show, wrote like all these lyrics for it. And now, if you go anywhere in the South, particularly in college towns, that is the song. Like if you're in
Really?
a bar and there's a cover band, they will play it badly, and it's fucking upsetting. Anyway,
Well, it's usually a guy playing Mr. Jones. I was thinking of a guy playing Mr.
that one's in contention too, specifically because of the line. Today I felt so symbolic. I bought a gray guitar. You should be hung.
I felt so symbolic.
You should be hung
like
and
that's
shot.
all-
for
like,
that.
I always
Was it
thought
worse than Long December, though?
Yes.
Well, because when he sings it, he sounds like it's Bobcat Goldthwait singing the song.
That was a song everyone said, "Oh, it's about his dick." You know, talking about his penis, right? This is what this song's about. That's what he calls
Lord.
it.
That's what he calls it. I call mine Big Jim and the Twins. Or Large Sarge, depending on the occasion.
I felt so symbolic yesterday. If I knew Picasso, I would buy myself a gray guitar and play Mr. Jones and me.
I actually love this song, but have you ever heard of ILBT by Joe Walsh?
No, I haven't.
I only know Life is Good by Joe
Well,
Walsh,
it's
which
kind
is
of like
bad.
a Life is Good rewrite, but the thing you're going to understand is ILBT is self-censorship because what it stands for is I love big tits.
Oh.
And
Wow.
it's actually Joe Walsh over a very life's been good type rhythm singing things like, I want big tits. Tits. Eggs Benedict tits.
That's a big 10-4, big 10. What it is? I like kids for breakfast. Eggs Benedict, what it is?
I heard this one in a bar in Florida, and this one made me just lose it.
Oh Lord. Oh, they, dude. See, they're doing Careless Whisper.
Which Careless Whisper is a ridiculous song in and of itself.
It's a
like the
great
saxophone,
song. It's a great
the music video with all the 80s excesses. This is just... It takes everything good out of it and replaces it with something bad.
Am I the only one when I think See That? I always think it's like a Veruca Salt
Yeah.
of a band.
Yeah, I was hoping. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, the voice just... to take your hand and lead it to
This sounds like contemporary Christian music.
floor. It does.
Oh, God. And they go through with the whole fucking thing. They don't just play the
Slow.
riff at the
Yeah,
beginning.
I know.
It's a joke.
Some Nickelback.
I know.
Wow.
I could just imagine like pro wrestling highlights over
Oh,
this.
dude. You know, if I was a wrestler, I would totally come out to this. I'd be the best heel of all time.
No, people would love it though because they're big on new metal and professional wrestling.
If you was a wrestler, who'd you come out to wrestle?
Oh man. Steal My Sunshine.
That's one of my favorite one-hit wonders of the
I
90s.
love it. Okay.
That's actually like top 3, honest to God. I love In the Meantime by Space Hog.
Yes, great.
Might be number 1. Number 2 is going to be Brand Van 3000,
Yes.
Drinking in L.A. And right there at number 3 has got to be Steal My Sunshine. Those are the fucking best. They're great.
Yo, wrestling.
Sorry,
that's
yeah,
the thing. Yo,
yeah,
wrestling. That's the thing.
Oh man, Lucky Ones by Loverboy.
Okay. I got the ultimate heat one though. I got the ultimate heat one though. Remember that song called like New Soul or something? It was sung by a woman a few years ago. Na 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 na.
I don't know what
You
you're
remember that
talking
thing?
about.
I used to hear it when I was at the dentist. And I was like, if a wrestler came out to this music, the heat that he would get would be so intense.
I mean, you all know mine, right? It's got to be this. It's got to be this guy.
Oh yeah, Foghat.
Foghat, dude. Slow Ride. It's got to be this. This is a personal.
That's
actually, as a matter of fact, you know what? I like that this is on record because you guys are my friends and you can make sure this happens. When I die, I don't want anybody going to the graveside. I want you guys to have the little service, load the coffin into the hearse, begin blasting this, and have the hearse drive off a cliff. That's how I want it to go down.
That's better than the Viking.
Wouldn't that be fucking amazing?
Yeah.
Just slow ride.
I would go for a Viking funeral with "Where Eagles Dare" by the Misfits playing.
I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch.
You better think about it, baby.
I actually saw Limp Bizkit in concert.
What?
I tell you about.
Whoa.
You've seen them all.
I know it's great. But
How many people got raped?
Was it
Everybody
solid?
there got raped.
First, the worst part was, I
I
think it was just the beginning
do.
of that album called like the hot dog flavored
Oh,
water.
Chocolate
Starfish
starfish and the hot dog flavored
and just
water.
him, like the 5 seconds. Like,
Yo!
"Oh, it's a chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavor." Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, that's the worst song.
What kind of hell are we in?
That makes Nookie look like slow rap. I mean, it's like so.
That's like an intravenous DeMilo sort of title.
Well,
yeah.
well, that one, of course, had 2 versions of Rollin', the air raid vehicle and the urban assault vehicle featuring half of Wu-Tang
Which
Clan.
one did the Undertaker use?
That would be the air raid
vehicle.
vehicle, which featured Ben Stiller in the video.
and the World Trade Center.
Oh my God, he's on the World Trade Center in the video. Fuck!
Do you remember the day when Limp Bizkit played on the World Trade?
No wonder they blew it up.
Oh my God, I forgot he's on the Twin Towers.
Rolling.
Sorry, Russell, continue.
Okay.
I have
So
to hear about this
I
concert.
can't hear this when I think of the Undertaker. I have to say.
So I was in Germany. I saw them in Nuremberg. I know. All my stories
Great
are
venue
like
for them.
great.
So there were 1 million people there, right?
It was the same summer I was in south of France. All that douchey foreign stories. Sorry,
But they all involved.
Seriously, I'd listen to anything about the south of France.
In Nuremberg, Germany. This was
Wait, was Lenny Riefenstahl filming the concert?
Who opened for Hitler? Who opened for Hitler that day?
It was a 3-day like music festival. And me and my girlfriend at the time went, and we were going because Radiohead was there. Guns N' Roses were supposed to be there, but they didn't fucking show up.
Oh, this was like a
Buckethead.
revival Guns N' Roses.
The other big headliner,
Mike Piazza
the
playing
other
drums.
huge headliner who was like bigger than all of them was Aha. That was the huge.
Yeah, they're big
Huge
in that
in
area. Yeah.
Huge. But we go there, and it's like they have the area where Triumph of the Will was filmed.
Oh God.
They have the area where Hitler
Good
stood.
God.
And it's like all graffiti, weeds. I mean, it was so trippy. And it was like my girlfriend at the time was Jewish. So we're like going, and then we're like, let's go, we'll watch. Like the first day was all the shitty bands. And this was like when Linkin Park was just getting started too. Wow. And it was like, I think Papa Roach was there. Oh, it was like so many terrible. Kid Rock was there. I saw Kid Rock.
No.
But
Was over the Hitler part?
Was Joe C with them?
Yeah.
Okay,
the little
cool.
guy.
Yeah.
He had a inflatable middle finger.
Yeah,
Maybe
There
he
were
was a
people.
sex
There were
wolf.
Germans in the audience with Confederate flags. And they're like,
Fuck
we're
yeah.
like, oh no, do you know what you're doing?
Maybe they were Bavarians.
They didn't understand what it was. But
They're
Fred
probably
Durst,
Austrians.
Fred Durst is such an asshole.
It does mean the Southern Kingdom.
Fred Durst, he's halfway. He's like trying. He's just like trying to incite a riot. That's what he does. And like he halfway through, he goes, "Any of you who don't speak English, shut the fuck up." And it was great because half the crowd was like, "Huh?" And then the other half was like, "Yeah." They didn't know what they're just heard like blah 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 blah.
Well,
blah, blah, blah,
From
blah.
what I understand, the most Germans
I
actually
was going to
speak
say,
English.
I went to Germany. I only ran into one guy who didn't.
It was so surreal too, and this was like pre 9/11.
Oh
I know,
jeez.
'cause
And
that's
it was
the
like
thing.
Americans were so cool, and I was like the coolest guy because I was American. And people would like talk to me in German and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm American." They're like, "Oh, you're American. You're so cool." And, it was crazy.
Yeah,
And,
when you go there and you're like, I'm not sure if this is the most fucked up thing that's ever happened in Nuremberg. That says something. That says something.
well, the weird part, it was like it's just like a bizarro alternate universe when you go to like, I don't know if it's the same way now, but like then, like this Wheatus song, Teenage Dirtbag, was huge. That was the biggest song. I can't even, like, it was playing and people, just drunk Germans, I'm just a teenage dirt, like I can't express how huge that song was at the time.
Oh man, they should have a Nuremberg trials for new metal,
They should.
like a truth commission, because maybe we'll get good music if we have that truth
Hang
commission.
them motherfuckers like there was Herman Goering or some
Yeah,
shit. Just-
then you've got poor Wes Borland
Lee
there.
Borland.
I was just following orders.
Just couldn't get Big Dumbface off the ground.
But the craziest part of that whole time, so after we saw Limp Bizkit, we're like, let's go to where Hitler stood and let's smoke a joint. We're like, oh, that'll be hilarious. Like, that'll be awesome. So we go over there and we're just hanging out, and it's me and my girlfriend and another friend. They're both Jewish, and then these guys come up and they're like talking to us, and then they realize we're American, and they're like, "Oh, are you KKK?" And we're like, "What? No. Because we're Nazis." Oh, and there were skinheads that were there, and we're like, "Oh my god!"
And there's nothing.
And we
There's
ended up- it was
that shit happens
surreal.
though.
That's-
they make
and there's
pilgrimages
nothing-
They were
to
there.
that
They were there
shit,
for
yeah.
someone's birthday.
and there's nothing more awkward than
German
interfacing.
girlfriend?
Well, no, interfacing with people who are like have that far right thing, and like you have a conversation with somebody and you have really no intuition of it, and then they just let it out at you, and you're just
Well,
like,
they
it's a
wanted to talk
very
about
That's why I always say never smoke American spirits because they burn too slow. So if somebody bums one on you and the conversation goes racist, which has happened to me, it's hard to get the hell out of there.
like it's just a very uncomfortable setting, especially where it's like those type of people you don't know. You assume that they're violent, that they'd kill anybody.
I was on
It's
an
just like,
Amtrak with a lot of crazy man like that. He was wearing like a pilot's jumpsuit and all this shit, and he was showing me these weapons he designed and things like that. And he starts talking to me about like these visions he had. He's like, I was at Stonewall Jackson at Shiloh, and I just said to him, Stonewall Jackson wasn't at Shiloh. And he says to me, the visions aren't that clear. So I mean, this is the kind of craziness you can have on the Amtrak.
to WJHOAM. We now join Lester Hill's Farm and Agriculture Report already in progress.
Even though I'm a son of Tennessee, even though I'm a son of the South, I understand that we lost. And you need to get that through your thick skull. You're full of lies and full of delusions. I think the Bible tells us of somebody who in an earthly way might have lost, but 3 days later, rose again from the dead. And just like that, the South will someday rise again from the dead after Obama brings upon your apocalypse there. And we have the tribulation. There'll be a new kingdom, which is mentioned in the Bible, which is a new confederacy there.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question.
Thank you, Willie Mae. I don't want to hear this jackass anymore.
Speaking of the apocalypse, how can we guarantee that next 4th of July's fireworks show won't end in a disaster like this year's? My pickup truck caught on fire.
My son lost his hand. I understand it was my problem. Your son lost his hand. It was justice because of the sins that he was committing with it, if you know what I mean, sir. Because you let him watch them movies. You let him watch them movies on the television, the moving picture box there. Your family is illegitimate. My critters in my front lawn is probably a more respectable collection of animals than your family is there. Coming from the Yankee end of the county, coming down here with the carpet bag, trying to turn this into your New York City tear.
Well, here's one that's a one for all and all for love by Rod Stewart, Sting, and Bryan
The
Adams.
Super Suck Group, as people have called it.
From the movie
Robin Hood.
No, it's from Three Musketeers with Kiefer Sutherland and Charlie Sheen. And it's just, oh man, you get three guys. 90s Sting, Bryan Adams, and Rod Stewart. Oh God, it's like, it's multiplicative.
I believe
how bad
it was a Bryan Adams joint. Like he writ that one, didn't he?
It probably is.
Because didn't he also write a song for like Robin Hood, Prince of
He
Thieves?
did. Yeah.
Oh no, he did
Yeah.
the whole fucking soundtrack.
Yeah. He beat out Annie Lennox for that because apparently like she recorded a song in like Old English or some shit. I shit you not, because my brother actually read his biography there.
Yeah.
Wait, is this them fucking talking?
Yeah, they do a very sort of Phil Collins-y move where they like kind of do a making of the video within the video. Like Phil Collins always did that, like Easy Lover and Susudio.
Why hasn't he come up sooner?
Oh, that harmony is so brutal.
It takes you back, though. It takes you back.
Like they're so out of key together. This is like this is like less the harmonies in this are almost as bad as the ones from We Aren't Gonna Play Sun City, but at least the Sun City song is awesome because they have awesome
At least
people.
it was a charity.
I think we found a winner. I really do.
I like how they keep tilting their head back.
I'm
really feeling it.
Oh God! Now they're like fist pumping.
The one you want, the one you need.
I think we have a winner.
This one's great when you're walking around the grocery store and you just kind of are pushing the cart and then you kind of like do a slight limp.
I'm Willa May, and you're listening to WJHOAM. We now join Lester Hill's Farm and Agriculture Report already in progress.
Is that why your grass is completely overgrown there, Lester?
It's 'cause his wife's in an iron lung.
Yes, I'm very sorry to hear about that, Lester. I heard that
You're
she
more
has
sorry than I am, sir.
tuberculosis.
She has the consumption, yes, but we're praying for her.
You know, you really should start getting vaccinations because your kids have that club foot and kind of that weird oversized head.
See, this is where you're trying to scam me into some kind of foreign government thing here where you can put like microchips on them and keep track of them like the number of the beast chairs.
So is that why your third son is a cyclops? He has one eye. He has one eye in the middle of his forward head. See, this is not becoming of an elected official, and I have to apologize about that, but this guy drags me down into
one eye in
the
the middle
dirt.
of his forehead.
He drags me down into the dirt like an albatross.
You're talking about my son Polyphemus, and you're talking about these strange foreign birds and things like this. Your albatross. When have you ever seen an albatross in this county, sir? You're trying to import foreign birds and livestock up in
I saw
here.
an albatross when I went to Hilton Head, and that was
I don't go to the north like that.
It's to the east, you It's the same thing, sir. You get outside this county, it's basically the Mason-Dixon line there.
I saw MC Hammer in concert once.
Oh my god, can we just go down the list of everyone you've seen?
I've seen.
I
Oh,
think,
man. I've seen some awesome ones.
Take the floor. You've seen them all. Let us know.
Let's talk about Hammer first.
And, Hammer, I was pretty young. I do remember that. It was trippy because Dr. Dre and Eazy-E came out, not to like sing, but like beforehand. This was at the Forum in Inglewood. Just to be like, what's up?
That's
to say
awesome.
we had the hookup. I had the hookup from. I had a friend of the family who got tickets to the Forum, so I also saw Belle Biv DeVoe, right, with Johnny Gill, Keith Sweat, and then
fuck yeah, Keith Sweat.
Another Bad Creation came out to do their song.
Oh my god!
But that was crazy as a little kid because like all of them, they were just. Those R&B shows and rap shows were just like shameless. They would bring some girl up from the crowd or just some girl in a bikini and then would just pour champagne on them and then just dry hump them on stage. And I'm like 7. With like my mom, I think. I don't even know. It was with my stepdad, maybe. Oh my god, it was crazy. And then the most embarrassed, I saw Paula Abdul in concert.
She was big. She was
MC Scat
Cold-Hearted Snake.
Oh, totally.
Look into his eyes. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
He's been telling lies. She had that Kriegsmarine hat on. Remember that?
Phil Collins. I saw Phil Collins.
Which era? Which era?
I don't.
Was it Another Day in Paradise era?
Was it
Probably. Maybe before that.
I Can't Dance.
I can't dance.
That song is great. I'll defend Collins all day.
What I like is always the same, and you know that it's right. I like that. It's always the same. That's all. That was like his rockin' one.
Fuck yeah.
Abacab is pretty
Abacab's
bad.
great.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's named after the chord structure.
Against all
That's why it's called
against all
Abacab.
odds.
Against all odds.
I'm surprised you didn't write that in that like moment of desperation where you're just like,
probably did.
take a look at me now.
So
There's
take a
just an
look
empty space.
Well, and then the thing that people always forget about Phil Collins is his amazing collaboration with Bone Thugs and Harmony. The song is called Home. It's Bone Thugs and Harmony and Phil Collins.
Just what the world was waiting for.
I mean, Phil Collins is great. That's the thing. He's fucking great. Phil Collins is his the reveal. The funny, it's one of those where you almost wish they didn't say Bone Thugs and Harmony featuring Phil Collins because it would just be an amazing reveal that there's all this shit going on, and then all of a sudden it cuts to him in a completely different part of town. A much nicer part of town than where the Bone Thugs are standing. And he's got a camera kind of swirling around him while he's talking.
Well, he's in his mansion writing his Alamo book. I'd hate to be a historian and have to cite that Alamo book written by...
Yeah, I'm sure it's got a lot of great original research in it.
It's like, I'm writing my dissertation, but I've got to cite Phil Collins.
You know, I actually learned Spanish, so I've got to Mexican archives. Because I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is this like authorized? This is like he's.
Oh, this is it. Oh, he's in on it. Oh, he loves it, dude. Are you kidding me? This is before he lost all his hair. He's still in a good mood. You know, he hadn't retired
Does he
yet.
show up with Bone Thugs at some point?
No, he's always in a. He's in a like the part. His part of the video looks so much different than the Bone Thugs part of the video. It leads me to believe that they just had a camera crew in England filming him. He's like, I'm gonna go in my backyard. And that's
or
be it.
maybe he filmed part of it in his backyard and then took the Concorde over to Cleveland to do it. Yeah, much like in Rite Aid, Live Aid.
Rite Aid.
Concert for Rite Aid.
Bob Geldof presents Rite Aid.
I mean, there are a lot of causes that could be. If you go to a Rite Aid, hell, go to the Rite Aid in downtown LA. There's a lot of people
There's
that could
a Rite
use
Aid
some,
not far from here.
They could definitely use some of Sir Bob Geldof's support.
Anybody in that ice cream line, dude. Oh my god.
So we all know Billy Joel is the Piano Man, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He had a psychedelic band back in the early 70s, late 60s called Attila. And it was basically him and another guy. The one guy was a drummer, and Billy Joel would take his keyboards and run them through effects pedals, and he was trying to be the Jimi Hendrix of keyboard.
It's like
insane.
Billy Joel, like psychedelic metal.
And he has long hair. Like, if you look at the cover of the album, he has long hair, a mustache, and he's dressed like
he's
a
dressed
Hun.
like Oliver Cromwell.
Yeah, kind of like Oliver Cromwell.
And
They're
there's
both
all
in
this like meat, like in a meat locker hanging around them.
Yeah, so I have a song.
It's like an iron butterfly or some shit.
So I have it queued up if you want to play it. It's a Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. That's the best one. That's the best one.
And people that are rock aficionados say that this is the worst album ever made.
I think it's a great album.
So let's just see, since this is part of the theme.
This is heavy shit. I love it.
That's the Piano Man singing.
Wait, this just is Purple Haze.
Acting funny, and I don't know why.
This is
good shit. If Led Zeppelin did this shit, y'all would love it out there
I know.
listening.
What are they saying? Poop, 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 poop.
This
French.
People say this is the worst album ever.
Those are sick people, because I think this is some good shit.
I like this better than most of Billy
I like this better than Billy Joel.
I mean, it's, you know.
Like, critics are weird because they'll crap on stuff.
If this was like,
And it's so arbitrary.
If this wasn't Billy Joel, if this was just some like one-off garage group or something,
Yeah,
everybody would say what a lost classic
yeah.
it was, and they'd
Yeah.
be buying like the 45s and stuff, and they go for big money.
That's the thing when you listen to a lot of those big 70s solo acts, is like the big secret is they were all at some point in like a weird psychedelic band. So you
Yeah.
can always trace it back. Like Ted Nugent was in the Amboy Dukes.
Who are amazing.
Who are great.
One of the guitarists from Leonard Skinner was in Strawberry Alarm Clock.
The bass player for Skinner is in Strawberry Alarm Clock. Bob Seger was in the Bob Seger System. That's his.
Is that like the planet he lives on in Star Wars? She was like, goes for the Bob Seger.
They're fucking great.
Kenny Rogers
Was in the new edition.
First edition.
First
New
edition,
Christian
not new
Minstrel?
edition.
Well, wasn't he a new Christian minstrel too?
Candy Girl.
Yeah, wasn't he?
Everybody was a new Christian minstrel at some point.
Candy Girl, I love you. Warren Zevon was in another one.
Warren
Like,
Zevon wrote a bunch of songs for the Turtles.
yeah.
That was his gig.
Oh, Flo and Eddie from the Turtles did backup for T-Rex and Frank Zappa, and did the music for the Strawberry Shortcake cartoons. I shit you not, sleeps all night in a cake made of strawberry. That's fucking Flo and Eddie from the Turtles. They're the guys going, get it on, bang it gong, same guys.
Mistakenly, people say that Elton John played the piano on "Get It On, Bang It Gone."
No,
Not- it's Rick Wakeman, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elton John plays the piano. There's a T-Rex movie which is really good called Born to Boogie, and Elton John and Ringo Starr are on, with Elton John playing the piano and Ringo playing the drums, are on a version of Children of the Revolution, which is actually much better than the plodding, shitty version that was released as a single.
And
So
Elton,
that's where Elton John.
Elton John played on the Top of the Pops when they did "Get It On, Bang It
Yeah,
Gone."
yeah.
Well, Rick Wakeman, tons of bad music. I mean, they have the myths and legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Like, he has all these like really
All that,
bad
like, the-
concept
the
albums.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Like
stuff.
Journey to the Center of the Earth. Like, Yes is pretty ridiculous, but he just is like, oh, Yes isn't ridiculous enough for me. I need to take this to a whole level. They don't. John Anderson and all them are holding back my creativity. I need to go whole hog. And one of them was The Legends of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Very long title. Not quite Fiona Apple long, but they had one. The song when he did the album, and the songs are ridiculous. They're just absolutely pretentious and grandiloquent. But the tour of it, he was just like, I need to find a way to have a medium to encapsulate this album perfectly, and he toured with an accompanying ice show. So he had figure skaters in the costumes,
Fuck yeah.
acting out the stories of, like, it was a rock opera but on ice. So it was an ice rock opera about King Arthur, and this was bad ice show stuff. So like the dragon would be a guy with the dragon head and a sheet over him with the guy in the back,
Yeah,
kind
like
of like
Chinese
the
New
donkey.
Year.
Yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
a Chinese New Year dragon. But it just looks horrible. If you ever see videos of it, this is
why you have Punk.
He did it about 2. Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
They did it twice, and it cost like a few $1 million to do it. And yeah, that's why we have punk music.
Somebody told these idiots they were artists, and they started believing
Emerson,
it at
Lake, and
one point.
Palmer.
Well, they had
Tarkus.
Tarkus has the best album cover, but don't never turn the record on. But it has the best album cover there ever is.
Armadillo tank.
The Armadillo tank is badass, and if you look at the inside of the record, there's like a cartoon where it's like he explodes out of a volcano, and he fights these other like monsters that are also part military vehicles.
Very Dianetic.
Yeah, and then he like floats away at the end.
Has the dawn ever seen your eyes?
I'm Willa May, and you're listening to WJHOAM. We now join Lester Hill's Farm and Agriculture Report already in progress.
Things may be changing, some say, like your Bobby Dylans and these other communists. I say things will be changing back. And where will you be then, sir?
I used to think it was the straightened arrow when I was a little girl. Damned if I didn't sit there and try to whittle my daddy's arrows.
Is that some kind of heathen foreign, double meaning reference there? That is not the kind of proper thing for a lady. You have been corrupted by this man, Sheriff.
You've been corrupted. You're corrupting her. You're absolutely wrong.
It's a new day under the leadership of Mayor Jen.
It's Gin, it's Gin.
Now, see, even she knows that you've got a still out there making your drink and all this.
I'm going to stay true to my constituency. There was 100 voters, and this man was the only one that didn't vote for me. I'm going to stay true to all my constituency, even this horse's ass.
Russell, where can people find you online, buddy?
On Twitter at Mr. Russell Mills.
Do you have a comic book bug coming up, or?
I don't know when the next one is.
Comic bug is
You
badass.
can find me on Facebook. But yeah, I do a show in Manhattan Beach. But yeah, follow me on Instagram. Russell Mills is my name. I actually Shazam songs in the supermarket because I do love terrible songs.
Yeah.
And I'll Shazam them and then I'll like put the playlist on Instagram. It's a lot of fun. So
Beautiful.
That's actually
some
awesome.
really-
I would
some,
actually
like,
follow that.
Yeah, Richard Marx, and you got some all your just classics.
Should have known better.
We're gonna have to do part
real
2
fast.
with
Yeah, real fast round. Best supermarket song. Best supermarket song.
Lost in the Supermarket by The Clash.
I mean, no, I mean like the song that you
Oh.
like coming over supermarket PA. That's a good point though.
Oh, well, it's like
I've heard "Lost in the Supermarket" at the supermarket.
I have heard it in a
Nice.
Walgreens before. I also love. Walk on Water by Eddie Money. It's come up before, but it's great to hear wherever I am. But it's always at the supermarket.
Wrestle.
I'll stick with Richard Marx right here waiting for you. That's a good one.
I've heard "Church of the Poison Mind" by Culture Club at the supermarket, and I won't lie, I sang along.
Not a bad one. Bungle in the Jungle, Jethro Tull. My all-time favorite supermarket song.
The rivers are full of crocodile nasties.
When I was a kid, we had a debate whether or not that meant crocodile shit.
This is the goods from the woods. We'll see you next time.
Jungle.
Well, that's alright by me. Yes, I'm a tiger when I want love, but I'm a snake if we disagree.
The Goods from the Woods is mixed and edited by me, Rivers Langley, and distributed by Westcast Network. Our theme song is composed by DJ Smiles. You can find him online at djsmiles.net.